Welcome to Retro Game Radio, the retro game podcast for retro gamers by retro gamers. It's go time. Hey, welcome to my channel. We have Retro Game Radio here today for our newly christened podcast. We've had a podcast kind of for a while, but this is our newly christened version. I am your host, Steps, with our co-host, as always, is Zodwriter, and our special guest today, Paul E Niemeyer, the Grand High Art Poobah of Mortal Kombat, Satan's Hollow, Super Pac-Man, Spy Hunter, Wacko, Demolition Man Pinball. There's a longer list. I just going off the ones I can remember off the top of my head right now.
Those are just the video games and a couple of pinball games. I've got a ton of board games, just a zillion board games that I've done artwork on too. And yeah, games.
Wow, man! Now I got more questions for you than I already had because you mentioned board games.
Yeah. I was part owner of Eagle Games from 2000 to 2005, and we did board games, mostly military, stuff.
Like Risk type of board games, those kinds of things.
Like Risk on steroids.
Okay.
Yeah. We were all big war gamers, and our big complaint was that the boards weren't big enough, they weren't colorful enough, the pieces sucked, the little chits you're playing with, it sucks out loud, man, So, we were sitting at the table, we're going, well, and you're a programmer, and you're a game designer, and I'm an artist. Why aren't we making board games the way we want to make them? And then that's what we did. We kind of formed the company at the table, and Eagle Games, and we did pretty good. We did a Railroad Tycoon and Sid Meier's Civilization, and what else did we do? Age of Mythology. So we had a couple of really, good titles that we and then it allowed us to do other things too. Like we had an American Civil War game and a Napoleonic game and an Age of Imperialism Conquest game, and oh god, yeah. And I designed all the pieces and I did all the artwork on the boards.
Wow.
And
Did they ever let you do the artwork on a modern Monopoly game?
No, I've never had that one. There's a zillion versions of it. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know. I actually didn't know if they did a Mortal Kombat Monopoly game. Because if they did a Mortal Kombat Monopoly game, wouldn't they have you do the artwork?
oh, believe me, that I am low on their list. In fact, we were just texting about it last night. How if they had their way, I would just go away. Just go away. In fact, all the originals, if they had their way, then we would just disappear, make things a whole lot easier for them. That's for sure.
He's a heck of a lot more than Mortal Kombat. I will say that. I've learned that in my research here, and we're looking forward. We're looking forward to going through a little bit of arcade gaming history as well as some other history. I think was your first arcade game that you did the artwork for Satan's Hollow, 1982.
Well, that was the first game that had entirely all my artwork on it. Prior to that, on Super Pac-Man, and then right on its tail was Pac-Man Plus. And I think I kind of proved myself to my boss, Paul Ferris. And then one day he came to my desk with an armful of the blueprints and tossed them on the desk, and they rolled all over the place. And he said, "How'd you like to do a game?" And he was great. He was the best boss ever. He was always kind of messing with you. You never knew if he was like being serious or not. But it always came out good in the end. He was just the nicest guy, but he always had to mess with you a little bit. And so he goes, "How'd you like to do a game?" I said, "Yeah, great. Who am I working with?" Because at that point I'd been second fiddle on everything. And he said, "You're working with you." I was like, "Oh, wow, okay, cool."
You're working with you?
Yeah, you're working with you.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
so,
you got,
so you were the only one on your team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, pretty much. Well, that was
that's
the
not,
thing back in the day. You know, I know there's like small armies doing stuff now.
Right.
No, Satan's Hollow. That was like the entire cabinet and the header and everything. That was all my artwork from like the sketches and the design and the layout and the illustrations and then the production artwork and right to the very end. And it was just, you know, we were all doing that and just cranking stuff out. I did 7 games in 2 years while I was there, and everybody was working on. I know, it's crazy.
yeah.
And again, like, you know, like you're the only guy doing it. This you know, you're chief cook and bottle washer more or less. You
So,
know?
so like when you get told you're doing Satan's Hollow, which ended up being a game that you ended up getting some hate mail for, which you could talk about. But like, what was your first thoughts like when it was presented to you?
I was like, this is gonna be a shit show. I mean, that was the shit show wasn't in our vernacular at the time, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah, to equate it, it was bound to be a shit show, and I thought so right away. Like, in fact, I was like amazed. Are you kidding me? Management like is on board with that. This is what they're is cool with them, and okay, and it's funny how like midstream in that project they kind of got cold feet, you know, and okay, the stuff that I designed for the re-release that had you know that was a Satan that I wanted to do for the, you know, originally, but they like halfway through they decided maybe a little too Satan-y. Can we play it back a little bit? And then they do like a 1930s movie noir kind of a Satan with a little pokey crest. Oh, wait a minute, I've got it. Hold on. Oh, hell. Oh my God! Look at this. I have. Oh my God! I have the color. This is the marker rendering that I did for presentation to get the account or to get it rolling. So anyway, you see that Satan guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he was a little more 1930s kind of noir, you know. And then this was the. Actually, this is not the actual.
That
So
looks awesome.
Yeah. But my original had a like big horns. Okay, the movie Legend had just come out.
Oh wow.
Okay, and so I was doing a little bit of an homage. I had the horns coming out of the side, you know, but not as big as the Tim Curry, you know. So anyway, they were like, yeah, that's too Satan.
The game's called Satan's Hollow, man. It's Satan. It's the title.
And they were locked into that, which is like there was a lot of paradox going on and a lot of weird. So okay, so we never got we never went to meetings about the art. The artists never went to the meetings about the art, and it's not because we weren't being included. It was because Paul Ferris, in all of his wisdom, was protecting us from the elements by not bringing us out. Because you know, I went to one meeting, and this is the story I'm going to tell. We went to the meeting, and he said, "Come on, we're going to go to a meeting about Satan's Hollow." And it was almost done. It was like oh my, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm almost finished." Like I thought they were getting on my case because it wasn't done fast enough, you know. Oh no! Come on upstairs and in the elevator. And by the way, when you, in the elevator at Bally, this place it was like the Pentagon. You had to put in a 4-digit code of a game that you were working on that was active, or that elevator wasn't going anywhere. And this was 1982.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was like the Pentagon. Okay, so
what happened if you forgot the number of the game you were working on? You were just stuck until somebody came in there?
Down on the first floor now, aren't you?
Wow.
Maybe you'd be going to the lower floor with the Satan's Hollow crowd.
Right, the basement level below the basement.
Hey, there's a new button. I never noticed the beep. Down you go. So anyway, so we went out this time. We went up to the ivory tower, and on the way up, and he goes, just nod and go along with everything. Say nothing. I said, okay. So I did, and in the meeting, they wanted the 30s noir head put on the character we'd already designed. It was, and they were talking about like redesigning the whole thing from scratch, starting all over again. And Paul's going, okay, all right, I got you. And I'm looking at him like, are you on your mind? You know, but I remembered he told me, don't say anything, just nod and agree. So I'm nodding and agreeing like a doggy with the head bobbing. So we leave. And we get to the elevator, and it's funny, the doors just go shh, and the minute they shut, he turns to me and he goes, we're not doing any of that. He goes, we're just going to put a new head on what you got, and that's what's going, and that's what we did.
And they went for it.
They didn't know the difference.
Oh, okay.
They're idiots. I'm not really. Okay. And anybody that's seen any of my panels or any of my any interview knows I have a pretty low opinion of management. Well, yeah. There were horrible examples. When I actually worked there were terrible examples. Driving around in their Mercedes and Porsches and the $1,500 suits and yeah, and there was more. It was worse. I don't even want to go into it. They were all kind of banging their secretaries and didn't make any any about it. It was almost like bragging about it. It was not good. But the fact that they had just completely cheated all the artists out of a decent pay. I remember being at a panel once with Brian Colin, and we were talking about, and he was hired about a week and a half after I was at Ballet. And I said, yeah, I couldn't believe it. Even in 1982, they hired me at 19.5. It was just crap money even then. And he looks down away at me and he goes, are you kidding me? And I thought he was going to be like, we thought he was a wunderkind. I figured I'm sure they hired him at 30 grand. He goes, they hired me at 14.5. I went, are you kidding me? Oh yeah. He worked the first year for 14,500, like $5,000 less than me. And I thought I was getting screwed. So
wow.
Yeah.
You were one of the top guys.
Apparently. Yeah, and as sad and as scary as that was, see, so that was the other thing too, is where you saw such a gap between the way management paid themselves and their attitude toward the talent, and that's why I have this attitude. And I'm sorry if I come off a little sour about it, but tough.
I mean, considering the legacy of all of the stuff that you've been a part of, I mean, I would be a little bit bitter too, to be honest with you, because it's one of those things where these franchises became just complete staples in human culture at this point. So you should be fairly compensated for it.
And in that same vein, look at what Midway did, which was really Williams. Okay, that was Williams that kept Midway out on the front door for a couple of years because they thought Midway said video games more than Williams did. But it was really Williams. Okay, so how do you piss away two IPs, Mortal Kombat, and NBA Jam. And NFL Blitz too, for that matter. Okay, so you got all three of these billion-dollar making games, right? And the real contrast was NBA Jam came out the same year as Jurassic Park, and both made $1 billion. All right, Jurassic Park was a full-blown movie with dinosaurs and all those other special effects and a lot of stuff going on. And NBA Jam was a TV set in a box, and it made $1 billion in quarters.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What the hell? How do you screw that up? Ow! They did it though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that it was mostly because of the high salaries and the way they treated their talent compared with the way that they treated themselves that contributed greatly to that downfall and that
probably
that time? I mean,
I don't know the actual reasons, but everything you said is true. So I mean, let's put it this way: it did not contribute to it. So even if it didn't make any dent in it, it was still not right.
So how did you get the assignment to do the artwork for Mortal Kombat for that cat?
Oh God, that's a trippy tale. Oh man. Okay. So it turns out management again, well, first of all, Mortal Kombat was just going to be a filler game. They had 3 months in the summer to kill, and they got this new kid, John Tobias. He's pretty slick. He's talented. He's got a lot of great ideas. He's not necessarily sure how things are done for presentation because he's using the wrong materials, but it doesn't matter because the ideas are solid. Okay, so they bring him on, and they're going to do a game with this guy, and then now, it turns out, that Ed Boon had been designing a game that was supposed to feature Jean-Claude Van Damme, but that got, 86th for this Dragon Attack game, which became Mortal Kombat. But it was as known as Dragon Attack. So, the management had been negotiating with Jean-Claude Van Damme to be Johnny Cage, but it all fell apart. And then they had it hardwired in their heads. The only way that was going to be successful was, Jean-Claude Van Damme on board, and now he's not. So, since we've got this flop that's just sitting on the shelves here, and it's over halfway done, we might as well just finish the damn thing and get it the hell out of our lives. We'll make the bare minimum production number, which was 200. That seemed like, for whatever reason, 200 games was the absolute bottom number of production. I think that was probably a break-even number. Who knows? But we knew how management felt about anything by looking at the production number. If it says 200, they had no faith in it at all. Basically, they're making 200 games to see what happens when they do. So that was the attitude. And then they said, quit wasting time with a staff artist, get a freelancer in here. Hey, Greg, who was a creative director on it, Greg Ferris, my old boss when I was at Ballet Midway from 82 to 84. Hey, who do you know who's, a fast freelancer? Who's the fastest gun in the West? Me. I was the fastest gun in the West. I could do all this stuff in my sleep. And they needed it done in 3 weeks flat. That was
all the artwork? All of it?
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. Right.
Did you sleep?
No, not much. Oh, and it gets weirder because 2 days after I picked up the artwork and the job from them, I get a call from Incredible Technologies, who, by the way, were made up of the cachet of programmers that used to work at Bally. And they started Incredible Technologies. Now, at the time, they were just working out of a strip mall in Rolling Meadows, Illinois, but they were on their way. So they said, hey, we've got this, we got a fighting game. We want you to paint the backgrounds for the actual game. So I like hand painted the backgrounds for Time Killers.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
all
Nice.
those painted backgrounds are done by me and by my one of my best friends, Rich Lowe. So and here's the thing, like you said, did you sleep? No, because I was doing both games simultaneously.
Wow.
Yeah, and I kept that secret for 17 years, so I didn't get my ass suit off. Okay, so anyway, I was so busy that I called in my buddy Rich, and I said, "Dude, you got to help me." Did like the medieval castle, I think the space scene, and so anyway, we those are all hand painted backgrounds on Time Killers. Were mine, and I was doing those while I literally had Mortal Kombat on one board and Time Killers on the other in my studio. And I remember going to lunch with my lawyer one day and kind of like joking about it, and he goes, "Don't ever say that again out loud." I was like, "What the hell?" And he goes, "Oh, waitress heard you. Does your wife know about this? Look, you got to keep this under a hat, man. I can't believe you're saying this shit. What the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Holy crap, man. Is he scared the crap out of it?" He really did. And I, like at that point, man, I put a hatch on it. And I mean, anytime I worked on it, the door was closed. It was locked. I didn't even want my wife to walk in on it and see it and say something at work. I mean, he scared the crap out of me. But he was right. If they'd have found out, man, they'd have crucified me. Either one, both. So.
But why would it have been such a big deal for you to be working on two separate games for two different companies?
The one was
I mean,
competition of the other. I mean, Time Kill. They literally told me that they were building this fighting game to take on the game, and they kept calling it Dragon Attack. They had an inside guy over at Midway. Information, and I found that out halfway through the thing, and I'm like, "Oh F! Well, does he know I'm doing the Mortal Kombat artwork?" But the thing is, I was never in their studio. I mean, I came by, I picked it up, I scooped it up, I went to my place, and I did it in my studio. So I wasn't a face around to see, thank God. So whoever their inside spy was, didn't know about me, and did not put the pieces together about that. So I mean, I'm literally working on it. So now things are starting to get weird in that Midway, I keep calling it third, but Midway, all they cared about was like, is it done yet? When will it be done? Why isn't it done yet? Nobody wanted to see any of the sketches, with the exception of Jack Hager. And I remember I had a walking meeting with him where I stood in the hallway and waited for him to come out of a meeting, and then walked with him to another meeting talking about the dragons, and then he gave me his advice, and then I went home. And that was the only time I was ever in the building, was for that little 5-minute walk with Jack Hager. So, other than the initial meeting. So, now they're all, we need to pep this up. We got to, things need to be happening faster. All right. So then I get a call from Incredible Technologies, and I hear them go, "Hey, our guy over at Midway is telling us that they're really cranking up the production on this. We really need to bump it up." So I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So I've become my own competition? Oh my God. It's like that was what was happening. The faster I worked for Midway, the more their guy over there told them that the stuff in Midway is happening faster, so they'd call me to make things happen faster because the guy, me, was making things happen fast.
Who's the guy that's making the leaks? Does he work for Midway? What's he trying to do? I don't get it. There was a leaker, man.
I was my own worst enemy again. Yeah, so that's when I finally broke down and I called up my buddy Rich. I said, "Man, you gotta help me with this. You gotta paint some of these backgrounds. I cannot do this anymore. This is crazy, and I'm trying to keep up with this whole scene, and it's nuts, And it's like the ultra secret. You gotta, and I knew I could trust him to, he didn't talk to anybody anyway. So
those are the best friends to have, Paul.
Oh, no kidding. We both know where each other's bodies are buried, and nobody telling us. So yeah, so it was just insane. So so now I finally get the artwork done. Oh, by the way, my first meeting with them, they were still calling it Dragon Attack, and at the end of the meeting, I'm kind of pulling all my stuff together, and Ed Boon goes, "Oh, almost forgot. We're changing the name to Mortal Kombat." And we've been talking for like an hour. Could have shared that at the beginning, maybe. But okay, whatever. And I mean, literally had everything in the bag already. So I'm looking around. There was just like a green marker on the table. I just grabbed that and I wrote Mortal Kombat with a C, you know. And he looks over my shoulder and he goes, "With a K, like idiot." You know? Like, all right,
he was looking out for you at that moment because, you know.
Right. Yeah. That was, boy, you have no idea how comedic that sentence was. Watch out for himself. That's the only person Ed Boon watch out for. Oh my God. So yeah, so now the game comes out and they only made 200 copies, you know, and boom, it's a huge success. And I always wondered how did they know that it was a huge success? 200 games. I mean, even though you sold 200 games,
they sold more, right?
That was the thing. Is the only way you would know that it was a success is if the people that had bought the 200 games were clamoring to buy more or whatever, and that takes time. So how is it that it comes out in October and then 2 months later when I'm looking for my money and I'm calling and saying, "Hey, why haven't I been paid yet?" And by the way, I was never paid. So just FYI. Anyway, when I called in December, they already knew what they had. And my inside guy, yes, I did have an inside guy too. My inside guy was telling me, "Dude, this is blowing up. And it's all on your artwork. It's, you know, the whole thing it's crazy." They're like beside themselves. They cannot believe how this Dark Horse, you know, summertime game that was supposed to be just a side thing is blowing up and becoming the mainstay of the company. Oops, dude, you got to get down here. You know, so first of all, I called up looking for my money and also trying to pitch, you know, "Hey, I am available." You know? And boy, when I made that call, I got Ed Boon on the phone. I'm like, "What? Okay, whatever." And I started out soft, and I went, "Oh wow, boy, who saw that coming? That was crazy. What an insane success that became. So proud to be part of the team." And he cuts me off and he goes, "You weren't part of the team." Oh, okay. I guess not then. Yeah, and then he said, "That artwork will never cross over the threshold of the front door ever again." And I was like,
Why?
"Well,
Because it has Daniel Pacina on it?
sure, yeah, okay." Well, because here's the problem. Yeah. Well, here was the problem. Now we've got this great success of a game that wasn't supposed to be a success at all. It was supposed to be just a, you know, flop and be out of their lives, and hardly that. Gosh, kids. In fact, this is the most valuable artwork the company has ever had, and it was made by a guy that doesn't work here, never did, and has rights to it because he's a freelancer. Oops. So, what do we do about him? First, we don't pay him. He's not on our books. Okay. And then when he comes looking for his money, we threaten him with a lawsuit to make him go away for 27 years. And that is exactly what happened. So in that conversation, Ed Boon told me that if I associated myself with Mortal Kombat or showed the artwork in any way in my book, that they would sue me into the Stone Age, were his exact words. So like, oh, okie dokie. I don't remember what happened after. I probably just hung up. I didn't even ask for the money, because at the time I was like, oh my God, how did this turn into such a shit show? I remember getting off the phone going, what just happened? What the hell just happened?
Yeah.
You know? And now here's the thing. I was not making my money off of any of the games. The game stuff was my side chick, okay? Kinda. That's because my real job was I was one of the top 100 illustrators and designers on Michigan Avenue. I was working all the ad agencies at the time. I was making a lot of money doing that. My whole billing for Mortal Kombat was $2,800. I was making $2,800 a week at the ad agencies doing marker comps. And they treated us like gods. They couldn't throw enough money at here. Take tens of thousands of dollars because we're making millions off of you. I love working at the ad agencies. You have to work late. Hey, guys, do you want sushi? We got craft beer. We ordered some wine, whatever you want. I think they got us blowing hookers if they thought it'd make the job show up faster. It's seriously just crazy how, really, they treated you like gods, and you could do anything you wanted to. You don't need to smoke a joint while you're working. They didn't care. They didn't care. When I first met my wife, I said I worked at all these ad agencies, and I was freelancing at all these different places. And she goes, "Did you have to take drug tests at all of those places?" And I just burst out laughing. I'm going, "Drug tests at the ad agency? There'd be nobody working there. Are you kidding? Nobody has a drug test at the ad agency."
Well, there goes one of my questions. I was gonna ask you. Go, when I watch all these behind the musics with the rock stars and they tell the behind the scenes stories, there's always drugs. What kind of drugs did you run into? And you answered my question.
Well, it was the 80s, so fill in the blanks. There was a lot, a lot of blow. And in fact, I remember it was always the status was if you heard clicking on the glass, don't go in there. Just wait till it's done. And then their attitude was if we didn't see it, it didn't happen, and that's all that matters. Is it done yet?
Is it done yet?
Yeah.
So you probably got paid better for a cigarette ad than you ever did Mortal Kombat.
Oh my God! I never got paid for Mortal Kombat, so it's easy, better paid. Yeah, but I see what you're saying, and yes, it's always the answer is always going to be yes. Advertising was when I lost my job at Bally, I left it Friday, and I was working at Lee Hill, in the city, doing marker comps on Monday and making triple.
Wow.
What I was making, and that was when I had the realization of just exactly how badly we were being cheated. Was when I saw what I could make freelancing, and it's 1984, and my freelance rate was $25 an hour, triple what I was making over. Okay, yeah.
So I guess the question now would be then, did they pay you for Time Killers? The other company, the competing company.
Yeah. No, they were cool. No,
no.
Yeah, and actually there was more of a hey, you were part of the. I got a feeling that I was more part of that team. They did want to talk about the artwork and input and discuss the gameplay and that sort of stuff, and I enjoyed working with them. And too, I knew them from the old days. They were all the old programmers, from Bally that were up on the second floor. So whenever we were working on a game, they were probably doing the programming on it. So we got to know, peripherally, but still, I did know them. And it helps.
So there was next to no input from them with regards to Mortal Kombat whatsoever. You just did your thing, and that was it.
It had to be a one-shot deal. What you see is what I made first shot out. There was no second shot. There was no changes. There was no anything.
Did you?
Perfect.
were you so there's so many arcade cabinets that had a very similar design to that first Mortal Kombat, right? We got, obviously they stuck to that design with the Mortal Kombat 2 through 4 there as well, even though you were, you weren't doing those cabinets anymore. It was your original logo, that line drawing that is on all those games, and it's even on the Legacy collection that's today.
Yeah, which
But
is flipped. Right?
it's
Yeah, it's facing right. My original was facing left.
okay. So they flipped it.
Yeah, right.
But it's the same drawing, right?
Oh, it's exactly, yeah. But for whatever reason unknown, but after Mortal Kombat 1, and considering everything you know now, but that hit the road, pal. Maybe it was just one more thing to keep it one step away from me just by flipping it. I don't know.
Did they?
But that's when it got flipped, was after that first game.
Did they give you any sort of expectation of what they wanted the artwork to look like?
Oh yeah. I wasn't starting it totally from scratch. And in fact, actually, John Tobias had worked out a very rough version of Dragon Attack in the Mortal Kombat kind of style. So we were making the style up as we went. Okay, so it really wasn't a style. We were making it up. And it had some loose little sketches of dragons, and then the logo too was. It was rough, but it was the dragon, and I remember Jack Hager's art direction was make sure it doesn't look like a seahorse.
That's funny.
It definitely doesn't look like a seahorse, not at all.
So,
yeah. And it turns out that's what he had told. That's what he had told John Tobias. Also, I've heard. Reddit interviews or something. That was the advice that he got. Don't make sure it doesn't look like a seahorse, because and then they just reiterated when they handed me to actually do the final artwork. So there you go. And now that you know that, you can't look at it and go, it does look a little like a
right. You can't not see the seahorse now. Now you look at it and you're like, you know what?
What have I done? I screwed it up for everybody.
So did they tell you they wanted one character on the side of the cabinet, or is that your idea? Like,
I knew there was. They had told me they were going to put a character on there, and that it was going to go over the dragon. And I said, "Okie dokie."
Okay.
Yay, team. Good for me. You, whatever.
So you designed the dragon that way with it in mind, that they were going to put a character over the dragon. You knew that there was going to be. That's why it looks so symmetrical. It looks the way it's supposed to, where you have your dragon and then you have Daniel Pacino over it.
Right. Exactly. I mean, and they kind of sketched out something like John Tobias had actually sketched out the Johnny Cage character in that flying position, in the rough, in the sketches.
Cool. Yeah.
So I kind of had an idea where it was going to fall onto the cabinet and all that. So I just did the artwork behind it, and then they were going to drop it on top of that. And that artwork is actually by Jack Hager. It's a photo composition. He was playing around with Jack Hager's an incredible talent, by the way. Just FYI, he's just unbelievable guy. So soft spoken, so humble. He went to the Art Institute in Chicago. And so he was experimenting with the kind of photo art, and he had done kind of the same stuff with T2, and that you can see that it's got a lot of similar feel to it, because he did both of them in the same manner.
So who decided it was Johnny Cage versus Liu Kang, for example?
I don't know, and the funny thing is, at one point in time, they told me that it was they were thinking about having this character Goro, and then they brought me in and showed me Goro, and I did a sketch. It was just a line art sketch of Goro, flexing, and and that was for a white hot minute was going to be on the side of the cabinet. Okay.
I bet they wish they would have went with that design now after all the years and all the trouble. Yeah.
There's nobody that looks like Goro. but Dan Pesina definitely looks like Johnny Cage, and that has been a huge problem for them. Okay, so actually, this is a good time to segue to why he's not on that Arcade 1 cabinet. Okay,
the Arcade 1-Up, the Arcade 1-Up cabinet.
Yeah, where's Johnny?
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick
about that, and I want to know who did the butcher job on my artwork for the patch. Oh my God, what a horrible patch they made.
It was probably Cyrus.
Almost more mad about that, okay?
Probably blame Cyrus.
Okay, so what happened was they took Dan to court years ago, okay, for looking like Johnny Cage. I know this sounds stupid, but it actually happened, kids. Took him to court, and he lost the first court battle. They're like, what? How? Yeah, well, apparently some bribes were taken along the way. Oh, yeah. Well, Warner Brothers probably figured it was cheaper to bribe people than it was to pay out a settlement. So they went for that. So, and then it went to an appeals court, and the the appellate judge was like, "Are you kidding me? First of all, why are you wasting my time, the people's time, the space in the courtroom? You're sucking air. Get the hell out of here, all of you." And I'm reversing this whole thing. I can't believe you're doing this. He looks like Johnny Cage because he is Johnny Cage. You people are sick. Get out of my courtroom. And that's kind of what I mean, it was like bing, bang, boom, enough of this shit. I can't believe we're even here. Well, they took it quite personally. So they took him off the side of the cabinet out of spite. That's how they work.
But then they left it. They left your artwork and just took them off, which is funny because they could have put some other character there. They could have put Liu Kang or Sub-Zero or Goro.
Yeah, they could have. They could have done a lot of stuff. They could have just let it go and just
You know what people did though, Paul, with that bought that cabinet? There was a guy that was selling side art stickers of Johnny Cage in there.
I was just gonna say that. People were just putting their own side art stickers on there.
and do you know how I know that? Because they would bring them to the shows for me to sign. Okay. Now, before they mounted it on the side, it would be a sticker, and they'd bring it out and roll it out. Could you sign this before I fix my arcade one? Yeah, fix is the word you were looking for.
Now, Paul, do you have that cabinet?
No, I'm a poor artist. I can't afford games. Are you nuts? No, I can't afford. I don't have the space. Look at back here. There is not a spot of wall space in this entire house that does not have artwork on it. And I got a whole family of artists. My mother-in-law's an artist, or her boyfriend's is one of the premier portrait painters of the U.S. Geez, a bunch of artists telling you. All pains in the
ass. So when they put that artwork on the Arcade 1-Up, there's no royalties to you or anything like that.
You're so sweet for asking. I want to kiss you right on the mouth. I'm telling you. No, nothing. Zippo, bupkis. You got it. No, not a blessed thing. I still have the only money I have ever received for Mortal Kombat in any way is the trinkets that I sell at these shows. Okay. For lunch money. That's it. That's the only money I've ever made off of Mortal Kombat. I never got paid. Here's the thing.
So,
You know why? Because it was all about credit. It wasn't about or anything. I mean, it was. They didn't want to pay anybody else. They didn't have to. But the thing there was they did not want some loose cannon, running around out in the jungle out there telling the whole world, "Hey, I did that artwork." Even though it's true, I did do that artwork. Okay, but they didn't want that because that made them look bad. They had to have it under the umbrella of Midway. The whole thing was a Midway game, all created by Midway people.
What I don't understand is why they didn't just bring you in and make you a part of the team since you came up with the artwork that is so iconic. That's the part I don't understand. You did it, so what would be the harm of bringing you in? It's just like, what would be the harm of keeping Daniel Pacina on the side of the cabinet when he's on the original cabinet?
He was also already still in the game anyway. They can't remove him from the game because they digitalized him and all those characters.
You can't just remove him.
Which speaks even more to the spite factor. I mean, it's like, well, I guess this is the only thing we can do. I guess that's what we're gonna do. Okay,
he's clearly in the game, and his likeness is all over the game. So it's not like you're.
Hey, you know what, Zodwriter? That cost us money. Best remove him. Best remove him.
It really didn't even cost them money. And it wasn't cost they didn't have to pay him or anything for all of that. It was, they're going to use it as is. Nobody would have thought twice about it. Like he is in the game, for God's sake.
Because I thought I heard him say that all he wanted was an arcade cabinet. He wanted them to give him an arcade cabinet, and they wouldn't do it. And he just
yeah, okay. The story he told me, and I heard him say it in the panel once too, that. They had made 200 games, and he was in a meeting, and he said 201, because I want one, and they went no. I mean, one extra cabinet. Come on, one. I just want one, and he was willing to take that in for payment.
It would seem like a no-brainer. I mean, what's the problem?
Okay, you've pointed out the whole thing kind of seems like a no-brainer. Like they should have offered me a job, probably.
Yeah.
Put
you on there because then they could have used you for future Mortal Kombat, especially when they realized that they had such a massive hit on their hands. It's not like you know.
And funny thing is, I remember during that conversation with Ed Boon, he threatened me the NDA that didn't exist. They never got an NDA from me ever. That was crazy.
How could you be under NDA if you're not actually contracted to be paid? Like, what are they talking about? Like,
yeah. Okay. What he said was I want to remind you about your NDA that and that's when he said that if you bring Mortal Kombat up or associate yourself with it, that we're going to sue you, and I was just laughing to myself because there was no NDA. He was just making it up as he went along. But I also realize I'm being threatened here, and whether it's valid or not, the threat was valid. He meant it. So, and I can't help but think that it's because they knew what they had on their hands. Oh, I was going to tell you how they knew that, and I just found this out recently.
Yeah.
I'd flown out to do a show in Salt Lake City with John Parrish. It was Jax, the original Jax.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just the nicest guy. And so we're on a plane together, and we're talking, and he tells me the story about how they knew the 200 games, how they knew 200 games was a success. And I thought, I'm dying to know this because how? That doesn't speak highly of anything. So it turns out that the Aladdin's Castle down the street from Midway had a Mortal Kombat game in it, and they called up one morning and they're like, "Hey, what the hell? This damn thing won't even turn on." And story goes that John Tobias went and grabbed a universal key, drove down there, opened up the cash box front, and like an avalanche of quarters spilled out, like a one-armed bandit in Vegas paying them off.
Wow.
And it turns out it had so many quarters that then overflowed over the box. It's just like a can that the quarters go into. It's a plastic can. Well, it overflowed, and they hit the boards, and it was shorting the boards because all the metal. You know?
Wow, that's insane.
So yeah, so and then when you open it up, just spilled quarters out of it, and the reason that happened was no game had made that money in that short a period of time. There was no reason for them to check it.
Right, because you would think if they were worried like that, they would have just put in a bigger can.
They didn't know. They had no idea. They didn't even occur to them that what was actually happening was that the game was just full of quarters. It never occurred to them because that had never happened to a game that had been around that short a period of time. Okay.
Wow.
So all that happening. Okay. So now, but that's just one game in one place, probably just a fluke, right, kids? Until the switchboard started lighting up like a Christmas tree the week after. Hey, we got this damn Mortal Kombat game, and damn thing won't even turn on. Did you look to see if there's a shit ton of quarters in it? Maybe look to see. Hey, you're right. There are. That's crazy. Yeah.
Did they just send out a memo to all the arcades that had it that said, "Hey, check to make sure you don't have quarters overheating the motherboard"?
Well, first they were waiting for somebody to invent the internet to send that memo. So it was 92. So no memos.
Dang. So, going back to like when you,
I like that.
Did you decide the placement on the side art of the logo and the character and all of that?
Oh no, not the character. Like that was all kind of laid out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, it was rough. It was very rough, but that was normal. I'm not.
It just seemed like every arcade after that, at least in the midway shape, like copied that same exact look of that original cabinet. Like you look at, not just the Mortal Kombats, but then Killer Instinct came along. Killer Instinct is like almost like a clone when you look at it. It's got the line art, it's got that logo, that KI logo, it's got the spinal on the side.
Yeah.
They really learned from Mortal Kombat, and it all started with your original cabinet design was what I was getting to.
Plagiarism is the most sincere compliment of all. Uh-oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you go.
Here I am. I'm back. Sorry. Something happened.
You accidentally cut yourself out. It's okay. It happens to all of us.
It said, oops, lost connection. So I don't know, but it reconnected. I'm back. Sorry about that. But yeah, when I was looking at all these cabinet arts when preparing to talk to you today, Paul, I was like, all these carved cabinets look just like the one that Paul originally did.
I'm flattered, kind of, yeah, a little bit. But I mean, and here's the thing too: if I were the art director on any of those, that's what my art direction would have been. Was go look at that first one and emulate it so that we have a contingency going, continuance going here.
Yeah, continuity is a good thing for your company.
True enough.
Especially if you have them all lined up next to each other, and
Right, and they look cool. They look, and it does look cool. I got to give you that, man. When I go into an arcade and I see them all lined up, and go, that's the shit. That is pretty cool. It is still pretty cool. I mean, even after all these years, it's and I've done a lot of stuff. I work, after all. Here's the thing: when all that went down. With Mortal Kombat, and I kind of got kicked to the curb. I mean, I remember I got a little shell shocked after that phone call, and then when it ended up in Congress, because of the violence. And now all of a sudden there's kind of a weird backlash happening in that I'm working at all the ad agencies, and I'm a artistic butterfly hitting all the up and down Michigan Avenue, man. I had my clients, I was working a whole scene, and everybody is talking about First Amendment rights. Is this censorship? By putting ratings on the games. How do you feel about that, Paul? Do you know anything about this? I was like, oh my God, I know nothing. I did. I played stupid and backed away from it and avoided any kind of talking about it at all. I didn't want to associate with myself with it because unfortunately, I didn't know how that was going to play out at the ad agencies. Would they have looked at it like, good for you, fighting a good fight, or, you're involved with that bullshit show?
But the thing is, you're an artist, so you weren't. It wasn't like you were directly involved in the creation of the game. You just did some artwork for the panel, so it's like you're.
You are such a wonderful idealist.
Yeah.
like that right there. Yeah, yes, but it doesn't matter because even though you can say, but that was unfair.
Well, yeah, because the perception would be that you were involved. The perception would be you were part of the team, even though you didn't receive a nickel for your troubles.
Yeah, unfair. They don't care.
I would have acted like I never heard of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but
what are you talking about?
What do you I mean, you got to think about it. Like, kids back then thought this was awesome, but what did the parents think? They're like, "What? They just ripped this guy's spine out of his back in this game?" Like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you remember the geez, I remember they had Frank Zappa came in and testified. And they had like star-studded, testimonies and stuff. And I remember when he came out, they asked him what he thought of the proceedings, and he said, "There are two commodities most abundant in the universe: hydrogen and stupidity."
Did you know how violent this game was when you started doing the cabinet art? Did they show it to you?
Nah.
No, you didn't.
No. You know what? That was not necessary for me to do the artwork.
Really?
Right?
So you knew what the game was, or you knew enough about it to be able to do your design.
I know it's a fighting game.
Oh,
it was a fighting game.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and it's all about dragons, I guess. there are dragons in it.
All about dragons.
I'm not really. I'm not joking. Here, you got to understand. And I worked a lot for Disney too, and everybody goes, "Oh, that must be fun." No, it's not fun because you don't know anything. They don't tell you anything. I worked on a project called Golden Ball for Disney, and I did it for like a year and a half. And it was this chocolate ball, huge chocolate ball that had goo inside, and I had like white chocolate little dinosaurs. When I was doing Jurassic Park 2, I put those inside there, and all kinds of stuff. And I, for the life of me, I couldn't figure out where is this being marketed because I'm not seeing it at all. And it turns out it was in Europe. But it took me a year and a half doing it before finally somebody said, "Oh yeah, you're huge in Europe."
You're huge.
Your shit's huge in Europe, brother. Oh yeah. Oh, that's not the first time.
That's where you should probably be because they know your stuff in Belgium, brother.
Yeah, how about it? You're selling chocolate to Belgians? You must be the shit.
You're famous in Vietnam.
Yeah, head on over.
Oh, you're gonna love this. Okay, when I was one of the other projects I did for Jurassic Park 2 was here we got this guy.
You're talking about the movie, correct? Lost World.
Yes, the movie. Yeah, the movie. So I did these little dinosaur puzzles. Like you see their little cardboard things you put together. This guy and these little things. So anyway, it came in cereal boxes, and you punched them out. These they were about half the size of. So anyway, I did all 6 dinosaurs from the movie for cereal boxes, punch them out. Now, it turns out the cereal boxes they were going into were Nestle's. So if you know anything about the cereal industry, North America is pretty much dominated by Kellogg's, Post, Quaker, Ralston Purina, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a bunch of them. They have North America, and the rest of the planet is Nestle's. A lot of Nestle's. And I've traveled all over the world. You have a hard time. You'll see Kellogg's Corn Flakes and Frosted Flakes and maybe Rice Krispies. That's it. Everything else is Nestle's. Nestle's. Okay, so the irony of that was that all my dinosaur puzzles were coming in boxes of Nestle's cereal all over the world, where children were playing with my stuff all over the world, except for where I lived in North America. Ain't nobody getting it there.
Hey, if it pays the bills, man, I guess,
You know, when you tell your story, Paul, it reminds me, when you tell your story, Paul, it reminds me of when you get a composer to do a score for a movie, and all they tell the composer is the movie is about two guys who eventually rob a bank, and then they don't tell you anything else, and you just have to go write the score, write the music. You don't know anything, you don't know nothing, and somehow the score has to work with the movie.
Dog Day Afternoon? Why could have been anything?
It's like what? I mean,
yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go, kids. Yeah, boy, the absolute bare minimum information. Perfect. When I actually did the artwork for the dinosaurs, now you remember this is Jurassic Park 2, so they know this is going to be a huge success. So now they are guarding everything. Like padlocks on everything, man. Just lock it all down. So when it came for me to illustrate the 6 dinosaurs, and I asked for reference, they went, just make something up. And I went,
wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
You would think you'd want it to tie directly in with the movie, and you'd want to make sure that it was kind of uniformed at least a little bit.
Well, they did. And I know you're going to love this, is that they had so much money to throw at it that they didn't care what they had to change. They looked at everything like whatever it was I provided them with was a starting point. And it was,
wow.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. So I've submitted my 6 dinosaurs and the illustrations that I've done, and I'm called into a meeting, and it was an ad agency in Oak Brook, Illinois. And I went up there, and they had a box in the center of the table, and I and some other the execs and some of the account guys were there, and another art director, and they go, we're going to be talking to Bob, Jerry, and Steve. So, okay. Well, Bob, Jerry get their thing. They talk to everybody at the table, and then Steve comes on, and he goes, hey, I want to talk to the artist. And so I lean over, and I'm here, and he goes, hey, yeah, we like the art you did, but we want to change a bunch of things. He said, mainly the T-Rex you did has kind of like a more like a tiger stripe thing going on there. We want to do more like a crocodilian, pattern on him. And I start launching into, well, they told me to just make some stuff up. So I did a lot of research, American Scientific, and I saw, that there are a lot of reoccurring patterns throughout, history. And in the meantime, the moderator's looking at me like, what are you doing? Shut up! Shut up! I'm like, okay. The look, like the panic is, just whites of his eyes. And I'm like, okay, I got it, And I said, but I'll do what you want. I just, I backed down.
They should have told you that ahead of time.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. So then, so he leans over and he goes, I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to meet with us, especially you, Mr. Spielberg. Turns out that was a Steve that I was arguing with. Mr. Spielberg.
Oh,
oops.
Wow.
Yeah, big dummy. Oh, yeah. So now I'm driving home what the stupid, what did I say? What did I do? Well, I did those changes in like a record time. I think I pulled like an all-nighter. They were done the next day, and so nothing was said. So that's good news. No news is always good news. Okay. So I was like, whew, okay. So about 2 weeks, I'm guessing, went by, and I was at that same agency working on I think some Disney stuff, and I was tooling past the art director's door, and this is like the '90s, so he's got the phone with the 30-foot cord on it, and he comes running out, and he waves me down, and hands me the phone, and he goes, and he mouths Steven Spielberg, Steven Spielberg, and I'm like, I'm not falling for that. And he goes, no, I swear to God. And he wants to talk to you. It's like, oh, okay, And he goes, hey, I just want to thank you for doing the turnaround on those on the art, and you did exactly what I wanted you to do. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I'm like, oh, okay. And there's this pause, and he goes, did you know it was me that you were talking to at that meeting last week? He thought it was last week. It was actually 2 weeks ago, but he said last week. And I went, I'm going to go with no. And he goes, let me ask you, would you have still mounted the same argument if you'd known it was me? And I went, I'm also going to go with no on that. And he goes, well, then I'm kind of glad you didn't know it, because everybody tells me what I want to hear, and you did your homework. And even though we went a different direction, he goes, you provided me with some other information. And I just want to say I appreciate it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm having a moment with Steven Spielberg.
That's awesome. Oh my God.
I probably peed myself at that point. I don't know. I maybe dropped the phone, passed out. I don't know. I don't remember what happened after that. But it was just so cool. And he was just like the nicest guy. Just like, the regular, like, hey, buddy, I just want to tell you, great job. Thanks for doing that. And I was like, oh my God. So who knows? It's a crazy, crazy world. Yeah, so that was my brush with greatness.
Did you ever talk to him again after that?
No, that was job done, over, moving on. Okay. Yeah, like I said, that was brush with greatness. Okay. Phone conversation with greatness. That's about it.
So, did you start drawing at a young age?
Yeah. My mom always used to love telling a story that in kindergarten when they went around and go, what do you want to be? And I went, I'm an astronaut. I want to be a policeman. I want to be and I wanted to be an artist. And the way I said it was like, artist? Like, duh. I thought it was obvious. And she loved telling that story. Like, he knew. He always knew. Always knew, and I did. I kind of always knew. I always thought to myself, what would it take to be a professional artist? All my life, what would it take? I remember practicing my signature so that it was readable. Because I thought the only way you're going to get famous is if people could read your name. So don't make some goofy signature they can't read. I had a plan, man. I really did. I think back on it, I always did.
That's awesome. Did you what did you draw when you were younger?
Oh, I grew up on a farm,
mm-hmm.
And so I drew nature. In fact, that's still my favorite thing to do. I was a nature artist for about a dozen years for the Department of Natural Resources and Morton Arboretum here in Chicago. So
you've done a lot, man. All over the board, spin a wheel.
Right. Oh yeah. Because I have so many interests. I love doing all this stuff. Like I said, nature art. Like boy, a lot of nature art, tons and tons of nature art. I spent an entire summer. I think it was like summer. What was it? 99. I think. At the Morton Arboretum, I was doing a series of illustrations, 20 trees native to Illinois, and I had to do the tree, the flower, the leaf, the root, all in the same illustration. And my office was the back of my SUV, and I'd move from tree to tree to tree at the Arboretum every day, and I'd let my friends know where I was going to be, and they'd come out and have lunch with me, and we'd sit out there and drink and smoke a doobie, and best damn job of the whole summer. all summer doing that. It was great.
Now, did you ever have an instance where you were doing drawing a tree, doing something like that, and you had to leave, and then when you came back, the tree was no longer there?
That never happened. But well, you know, a lot of time, okay, I always thought, I appreciated Monet doing all those haystacks because the light kept changing all the time, you know, and that was the thing with him was, you know, I don't know if you know the story. He had like 30 or some odd canvases, and he would work on this canvas, you know, until the light changed like it was in this canvas, you know, like each time it was a different canvas, and he kept switching the canvas. So eventually got all 30 of them done at the same time. so that's kind of what it was. You know, the light would change. Sometimes leaves would fall off. But not too many problems. There was I'm telling you, that was a great gig. Just working outside all summer long, and friends coming by and partying and having lunch out there every day. It was like one big long 3-month picnic with your friends that you were getting paid for, and you're making art along the way. Wow, best gig ever, man.
Now, you were talking about how you like nature, and so it made me think of this that I want to talk about. You know, if you're a podcast listener, you could join us on YouTube and see this picture. But this is a mural that Paul did in his hometown, I believe, right? That was your hometown?
My hometown of Grant Park, Illinois, home of the Dragons. How ironic.
Yeah.
I know, really.
Brilliant.
There's not many teams that are Dragons either. That's kind of a rare bird too.
You've discovered the key to the simulation, Paul. You figured it out, brother.
You got a Mortal Kombat logo there in the grass.
Yes. Yeah. I threw that. My brother gave me grief. He goes, "Did you make it big enough?"
So you got
to think about that.
Better not let WB see that. Best remove them.
Best remove them.
Come and bring it.
That's kind of our catchphrase around here. Best remove them, because we had an episode where we were talking about how the new WrestleFest, our home arcade cabinet, removed wrestlers because they didn't want to pay the licensing fees for these wrestlers, and so that's where we came up with the best remove them. I kind of stole it from Disney World. Is Paul still there? I think we lost Paul.
Yeah, I think we lost him for a second.
Well, let's see if he comes back.
Frozen. He's frozen.
Oh, man. That mural, though, that thing is awesome.
That is beautiful.
I want to go see it, but he's going to do the other side of it, and I want to wait until it's done. Then maybe I'll go.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. It looks like he dropped off. Yeah, well,
it's been incredible. It's been incredible. So much fun. My God, these stories are priceless. It's incredible stuff.
Let's see if he comes back.
Yeah.
If not, we'll wrap it up. Hopefully, he's coming back.
Yeah, maybe he had a technical issue like you did earlier.
I'll just have to edit it when I post the podcast. That's fine. Let's in the meanwhile, we could go ahead and talk with some people here.
Yeah, check the comment section.
Yeah, I believe he does have that Mortal Kombat tattoo. I was going to ask him about that. Like Dark Realm asked about his Mortal Kombat tattoo. It looks like he's got one like right on his
it's the dragon. That's what he was showing. That's his artwork. That's his seahorse, ladies and gentlemen.
Seahorse.
It's seahorse. That seahorse is known by billions. It's like for real.
Yeah.
That story is just it's just mind boggling to me how that all worked. How they didn't want to pay him. That was mind boggling to me.
That is crazy, man.
Because it really, when you think about it, would have been a drop in the bucket for them because they're literally rolling in money. So why wouldn't you want an artist like that on your team? Why wouldn't you want to bring that kind of talent, that top tier talent into your camp? I don't get it.
He's hopefully coming back. I think he just dropped off.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think something just happened. He's talking to me right now. I'm getting a response from him. We'll see. Working on it, he says. Okay, cool.
Yeah, technical difficulties. That's what we
That's what
we deal with all the time. So it's not anything new. It happens to the best of us.
It's fascinating how quickly. Oh, here he is. We welcome back, Paul.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Welcome back, Paul.
Hey, yeah. We're talking about that you have the dragon tattoo on your wrist, right?
Oh yeah, yes, yeah, there it is.
Wow. When did you get that done?
Only a couple of years ago, to do the shows. And okay, this rolls back to Satan's Hollow. I told you I was raised on a farm. Well, I was raised in a totally strict Lutheran German farming community, and my mom, I think, was like 84 or something when I got the tattoo, and I was like 64 when I got it, and she gave me grief. She didn't speak to me for 2 weeks for getting a tattoo. Oh my God.
Hey, but it's like what you're known for, right? Like Cody Rhodes, the wrestler, put his logo right there on his neck.
Well, right. So that's like the first time I told her about Satan's Hollow, and it was like 10 years after the game had come out. I figured it was safe, No. And I still remember her saying the word Satan like church lady, Satan. The name Satan is in the title. I'm like, well, yeah, Mom, but you fight Satan. Satan? She just got hung up on that. That's all she heard. That's all she knew at that point. I knew, change the subject,
Well, I mean, it's good that you're being transparent with your mother, Paul. I mean, that's
it only took 10 years.
Right. I mean, better the truth come out late than never, right?
I gave it a shot. There we go. Oh,
yeah. Those are your what is it, Satan's Hollow for the ColecoVision?
Yeah, this is actually that's the Satan's head that I designed back in '82 to be on it, and then it got turned into what it got turned into. So I got 43 years it took, but I got to do the Satan I wanted to do. It is a lot more elaborate, obviously. I learned a few tricks along the way, but it was a lot of fun doing it. When John Lester called me up and wanted me to do that, he said, "Hey, would you be interested?" And I said, "Try and stop me and see what happens." Yeah.
If you guys don't know who John Lester is, he is I think he was Gamester 81 on YouTube. He's got a convention in Phoenix every year. Game on Expo.
Game on Expo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've done it like maybe 4 or 5 times. I love his show so much. Yeah, and he's nice enough to keep inviting me back. So yeah.
I have to try sometime. I met you at Portland, and I've met you at Chicago Pinball.
Yeah,
and
show too.
I think I met you once in Cleveland as well, briefly. Cleveland Gaming Expo.
Yeah, I did that maybe 3 years ago. I think that was 3 years ago. Yeah. Hey, were you in Portland the year that they had the fire?
Yeah, that was last year. I was. Yeah. That's where I was. I worked a booth there.
Okay.
Doing charity for Good Kids World Village. I was doing fundraising.
Yeah,
And I asked you to do a video for me for Give Kids a World, and you did a quick little video, just like your little Facebook videos, and
yeah.
I shared that with them. Yeah.
That was a fun show, crazy, and and there was a real fire. I found out later that there actually was a fire, but they controlled it and kept it, But that was crazy. To empty an entire convention.
Yeah, I remember I came back in and I was doing a video for my channel, like a vlog, just of being in the convention, and I had videoed the fire alarm. Like, I just got back in for the fire alarm, and I had Tim, the NBA Jam Tim, and he was like, he was play calling that the reason for the fire alarm was somebody ate a bad bean burrito or something, and I was like,
God.
it was funny. It was a good time.
I just spent 3 days in Houston with Tim Kitzrow, and he is just a riot. He's like hanging out with Robin Williams. He really is. He's just always on, and he's clever as hell, and he's got all these voices, and I'm sure there's a couple personalities living in there somewhere, because I don't know where he comes up with all this stuff, but he's just creative as hell. Just fun guy to be around, that's for sure.
I want to show these preview videos you made. I just grabbed a couple of them from your Facebook, and I think you could follow Paul on Facebook. You could just follow him and you get his posts, and you could see the shows he's going to, and he makes all these little preview videos that are always so interesting and cool to see. So I'm going to air a couple of those real quick.
Oh, hello there. Beelzebub here, attorney at law. Anyway, I represent Mr. Niemeyer here. Maybe you've heard of him. He's the original artist of Mortal Kombat and Wacko, and like his little favorite, Satan's Hallow. I somehow relate, I'm not really sure how. Anyway, Mr. Niemeyer will be appearing as Villain Invasion, October 25th and 26th in Corpus Christi, Texas, where it's hot. I like it hot. At the Emerald Beach Hotel and Resort. Oh, that sounds swanky. Now, even though it's Villain Invasion, Mr. Niemeyer here is not to be considered a villain. Why, if he were a villain, there'd be a list of villains, and if there is a list of villains, it's a hoax. Anyway, get over here.
The rumors are true. Greetings, Mr. and Mrs. Pittsburgh, and children of all ages. This guy, or possibly this guy, the original artist on Mortal Kombat, Tron, and three Pac-Man games, and a lot of other stuff. He's going to be returning to the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo on October 3rd through the 5th at the Monroeville Convention Center. You heard it here first. You were warned. You better get over here. Peace out.
Those are so, like, the first one, the Corpus Christi one, was like really damn creative. I was like, man, you took a lot of liberties. You went way out of the box. It just, I love that one. That one's great.
Yeah, that's really good.
A lot of fun. I was having too much fun.
Yeah, and I know you met my friend Ricardo there in Corpus, and that I heard that that was a brand new convention, and that it was smaller, and it was mainly just about bad guys, from what I understand, villains.
Yes, everybody was a villain, which is great. Kenny James is there as voice of Bowser. And I've done a couple shows with him and Josh Martin and two of oh crap, I can't remember the names. I hate when that happens. Crap. Anyway, two Mortal Kombat guys that I had never met before. Voice of Goro and nuts. I forget what the other one is. I'm terrible. I'm sorry, guys. I should have done my homework before I got it. Anyway, that was a real fun show, and like we were all villains. And one thing I've always found is that the guys that play villains are usually just the nicest, sweetest guys. They're just like the awesome dudes. And a lot of times the guys that play good guys are kind of dicks. Okay. That's not always, but a lot. Okay.
Yeah, so you go to many conventions a year, and like it seems like every time you have one, you do a unique video. You talk to you about something completely different than you did the last time, and it's always very entertaining. And if Paul is coming to a convention in your area next year, I'm assuming you're done for the year, or there might be just maybe one or two left.
Actually, I was just approached to possibly do one in December. I'm not going to say
Wow.
it has not been confirmed. Yeah, I was actually going to kind of take off. I've got a bunch of studio projects that I needed.
What happened there? Let me see if I can get it back on.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
So I decided, yeah, I'll just, Houston was going to be my last show. And my very next show is actually at the end of January. So I thought, great. I've got a lot of studio time and holidays. And, my wife and I have got a nice vacation plan. So, and then somebody approached me with, hey, would you be interested in doing a show in December? It's East Moline. You can drive to it. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, just drive to it and drive home again. That sounds pretty doable. So I thought, what the hell? We'll see. So
Yeah.
we're still working. I probably said too much already. I should have said where it was.
Nah. But the point is to just get out there, go to these conventions, because you never know who you're gonna meet. You could meet, you obviously you can see Paul. You could meet Tim Kitzrow. You could meet, any of those Mortal Kombat guys. I know Richard is it Divisio? Is that his last name? Yeah, he's at a lot of them. Sonia's been at a few. They're a lot of fun.
Oh God, they're all just amazing. They really are, and we're really kind of we're a family, and it's nice because I'm the late arrival to the family dynamic. They all knew each other back in the day. They've known each other like 30 years now. But I never knew them back then. And the only reason I know them now is because we've done shows together. But they welcomed me into the family dynamic like I was a long lost brother now returned to, the loving.
It's like they knew you got screwed, and all they could do was welcome you in with open arms and be like,
I should be laughing, but
you should be here. You should have been here from the beginning. That's pretty much the vibe. Right?
You nailed it. You nailed it right there. That is exactly what it was. Exactly what it was. And then since then, plenty of dinners for us to share our mutual experiences and then kind of draw lines to, they were saying that to you, they were saying this to me, or I got kicked to the curb, and then they followed suit and kicked you to the curb. They were all deceived with promises that were false or fell apart. All of them.
Yeah, that's terrible, man. Oh, I hate hearing that story because, like, as a video game or retro game enthusiast, you always want to have the recreations, the stories, everything to be great. And what you find out is that sometimes companies are okay, removing Johnny Cage or removing wrestlers from WrestleFest or whatever, and it's really quite. I've gotten upset, like overly upset about it, and I guess at some point I just got to let it go and let my memories exist as they are, and just say forget it. And if I need something that I want a recreation of, maybe I should just best do it myself.
That's right.
You're not wrong. But actually, I'm very encouraged now. I have a lot of young artists that come to the table. Here's why I do the conventions. I love meeting the fans. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Because I was kind of denied all that. So I'm kind of like making up for lost time. And at these shows, I have a lot of young artists that come to me. They go, well, here's my stuff, and I want to do this, and I want to. But what I am seeing is that they're making a use of so many apps that allow them to make games that, no longer do you need a small army of developers anymore. You can pretty much, it's kind of, the pendulum swung back the other way. It's like a handful of developers and one artist can make a game, and a damn good game, and make it fun. So I just made an analogy in Houston. Tim and I were talking about it in a panel. When Tim Kitzer and I did a panel together, and we were saying, back in the old days when there was just me doing the artwork, there were a lot of diamonds, but it took a lot for them to get out there and to be seen. Now you've got a whole big pile of coal with a bunch of diamonds in it. You got to find the diamonds, because everybody's a game developer. Everybody that can afford the app is trying. That doesn't make them a good game designer, but there are some good some games being designed. Some homebrew stuff that's just amazing. So, and I see that at the shows, and you're playing a game and you go, what is this game? And I go, I made this game. It's a homebrew. It's a one-off, right? Where you're playing the one-off. Oh my God. Yeah, so it's fun to see that. And they're so enthusiastic, and they've got all this great zeal for doing it. I'm so happy to see that. It warms my heart to see, the energy young artists have for creating the art and for just being creative. It's inspiring to me.
I'm looking forward to seeing you at the next convention, because I definitely am like, I need to buy that Satan's Hollow print. That looks amazing.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'll send you one, no problem. It's on me.
Hey, I definitely want to support you. So if I could send something your way, let me know. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me a drink. Socially supportive.
Okay. How about I take a couple audience questions? Are you good with that?
Oh yeah. Let's.
All right. So if anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and ask them. We got one already. Paul, do you play? And if so, what's your favorite Mortal Kombat game?
Oh boy. Okay. I have let's play true confession time here, all right? I have never played Mortal Kombat except for one time.
The original.
I swear to God. Yeah. Okay, you got to understand, back in the day, I was kind of kicked to the curb. I really had no incentive to go and play the game that kicked me to the curb. Okay. So I watched from afar, so when I do the shows, people would come up to me and go, "Hey, it'd be great if I could play Mortal Kombat with the guy that made the dragon logo. That would be the shit, man." And I'd go, what'd be even better is if you would play it, and I could see the joy on your face from playing the game. And I'd get out of it. I'd weasel out of not playing it, because I knew if I did, I'd be destroyed, because I never played it before. So I'm not playing. No way. Are you kidding me? Oh, and then it backfired on me. I was doing a show in Columbus, and Brian Colan, Rampage, and Warren Davis, Qbert fame. Okay. Three of us were at this show, and at the end of the show, they had a big surprise. They had made a 1990s living room, and they had three TV sets with 3 consoles, each loaded up with the game that we were famous for. Now, these guys have done the programming on the game, so they could play it in their sleep. I had never played Mortal Kombat in my entire life, and now I can't get out of it. I'm stuck. Okay, so I'm holding the thing going, what the hell am I going to do? So I choose Lord Raiden. And I just thought, just press everything a lot. And that's what I did. I'm just pressing everything. And he's flying all over and all kinds of shit's happening. I don't know what And then I hear these guys behind me going, wow, that's the most amazing strategy I've ever seen. I would have never thought of playing Lord Raiden like that. And I'm thinking, me neither. I don't know what the hell I'm doing now. And then all of a sudden he goes, Raiden wins. And I went, no way! Drop the mic, walk away, and I've never played since.
Oh. Console fanboy over here. He does a lot of shorts with Mortal Kombat, and he does a lot of little videos with different people like that were in the games. And he just asked you about, what did you play? What's your favorite MK arcade game? I think we know the answer. And then he says, can you please say no one can beat console fanboy?
No one can beat console fanboy.
Awesome. There you go, console fanboy. You got a good one there.
Oh, okay.
He paid $4.99 for that. But after YouTube gets a cut, it's $2. But so if you want me to mail you $2, Paul, I'll send it your way. YouTube likes to take their cut for sure.
Yeah, right. No kidding. I'll owe them by the time it's over.
Paul, can you say that console fanboy sucks at Mortal Kombat?
Console fanboy sucks at Mortal Kombat. Sucks!
some people. Oh, look what console fanboy say. Damien, shut your mouth.
Wow.
We have to separate you.
Paul, did you or do you still play Axis and Allies, the war board game? I played back in the 80s and still play all the time online. It's a classic from Burnt Oranges.
Yes. I played a lot of Axis and Allies, and actually that was the inspiration for the Eagle game we made called Attack. And it was a World War II game, and actually two versions of it. There was a kind of a regular version, and then of course the Supreme version with all the extras and goodies and stuff in it. So I played a lot of Axis and Allies and all kinds of. I love war games. I just love all those board games, all kinds of crazy stuff. We played a lot of that stuff. A lot. One of my best friends is Keith Rocco, a very famous Civil War and Napoleonic and World War II painter. And God, he and I used to play war games with a whole group of people till wee hours in the morning. It was great fun. Just great fun.
Awesome. We'll see if any other questions come. I do have one I forgot to ask you. The Wacko arcade game.
Wacko.
That game is, I didn't know much about it, but then I saw it, and I'll bring it up on screen real quick. Like it.
Look at that later on.
Oh, hold on. Let me bring
there it is. Yeah, there it is.
It's like diagonal. The control panel's diagonal. Go ahead and show you that marquee again. Sorry about that.
Even this is wacko. Even
the
headers. Yeah, they're nuts. Only game.
Are there any of those still around you can find? Maybe I didn't even notice it when I was at Galloping Ghosts, and they have like everything.
Boy, does he have a wacko? Yes, he does. Yeah.
He does. I'll have to go find it next time I go in there.
I think I remember seeing one when I was at Galloping Ghost.
You could be at Galloping Ghost for 48 straight hours and not see everything. There's literally
yeah. I mean, it's
over 1,000 games on the floor. Crazy place. And Doc Mack, the guy that runs the place, just the nicest guy in the world. Hey, I wouldn't be doing any of this if it hadn't been for Doc Mack. Really?
Yeah?
Oh yeah. That's how I was rediscovered. 27 years I've been kicked to the curb, and nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew what I did. I wasn't getting any credit for it at all. The only credit that I had in that game was my name at the end of the game, misspelled. One last indignity, And I used to own a haunted attraction here in Chicago for about 9 years, and one of my cast members. And this is long after the show was closed. I keep in kept contact with everybody. And he was playing the original game, and he got to the end of it. My name's on it, and he calls me up, and he goes, "Is this you?" And I went, "Oh, it used to be me." You know, but nobody remembers that anymore. I wouldn't worry. And he goes, "Are you kidding me?" And then I kind of told him, well, you know, they kind of kicked me to the curb, and I said, nobody knows who I am, and I really don't know how to make that happen. You know, so I kind of gave up on it literally decades ago. And he didn't take no for an answer. He called up Doc Mack and told him about me, and then I lived like a half an hour from him. And Doc petitioned me like a couple of months. He'd send me an email every once in a while or a text, you know, "Hey, you know, you've got fans. You should come down and meet them. They'd love to hear your stories. They'd love to talk to you." And I thought to myself, 27 years, nothing. And now all of a sudden, this, it didn't make any sense to me. So I just kind of like, I shrugged it off. And then one rainy Sunday afternoon, I thought, what the hell? I'll go down there and see what this is all about. And everything changed from that moment on.
Yeah. That's an awesome story, actually.
Everything from that moment on, everything changed. I started doing shows, met a lot of people. I'm invited to shows, 20 plus. Okay, this last year I did 24 shows.
That's a lot.
I love it.
2 a month.
Man, I love it.
All that's left now is for Warner Brothers to pay you. That's what we need. Now if we can just get Warner Brothers to pay you, to compensate you properly.
Maybe when WB gets bought, they're for sale right now.
Exactly.
Paul might get his check from Netflix.
No. My thing would be rob Ed to pay Paul.
Yeah.
It's time.
Will you take a check?
I'm gonna have to. I gotta send Paul some money now because Console Fanboy's throwing in more things. He's like, can you say "Welcome to Die" will never beat Console Fanboy?
Oh my god! Welcome to Die will never be Console Fanboy.
That was awesome. You're giving him gold, man. You understand what you're doing for his channel.
I owned a haunted house for a long time. I could do.
But I will say there are important Mortal Kombat people that see his videos. He was known, he was known for pushing to bring back Mortal Kombat 4. I guess it's in the collection.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. I've got a lot of fans contacting me about the history portion of the new Legacy collection that's out and why I'm not in it at all. You know?
That's what I was wondering, Paul, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah.
I actually thought about that. I'm like, where's Paul during all of this stuff? What's going on? And it's like you're sitting there, you're in your studio doing the artwork while they're doing whatever. It's
exactly whatever. Yeah, they never. I'm never going to be part of that. I'm never going to be a part of it. Okay, we had some legal problems when I started doing the shows, and they came after me and it hit me with a cease and desist because of the apparel, and then it all started like kind of a landslide. An IP firm here in Chicago found me, and they were like, "Hey, we would love to represent you pro bono, because we want Warner Brothers head on our wall." And I was like, "Okay, cool, let's go for it." So I was kind of in a secret. It wasn't a lawsuit. It never stepped into court, but it was the two law firms banging heads and taking pot shots at each other and working them all out. So that, and finally, it came down to email that I had sent. Listed everything I had kept from 1992, including invoices and purchase orders and blueprints and all the and everything. I saved everything. Like, oh my God, you're a grenade they can't pull the pin on. You to court, you will show up with an avalanche of physical evidence from 1992. They don't have anything but lawyers in $3,000 suits. That's not going to make it, man. You can do whatever the hell you want to. Knock yourself out. That's what my lawyer said. Go ahead, do whatever you want. I can't touch you. and it's funny. It all burned down to a stupid email I had sent. It had nothing to do with any of the legal, headbutting at all. Funny. I love when stuff works out like that. It's just a goofy circumstance,
Burnt Oranges wants to start a GoFundMe for Paul to get an XL Mortal Kombat cabinet because he says that Basic Fun is going to release one.
I like you. Got Burnt Oranges. You're awesome.
Yeah, but they have to have Johnny Cage on the side, or at least we got to be able to get another sticker.
I know a guy. I got a guy for that.
If it doesn't have Johnny Cage on the side, forget about it. All this nonsense. The artwork looks deformed without Johnny Cage on the side. I don't know how they even could release it like that.
You made console fanboys evening. I could tell you that right now. He's cursing and expletives and
wow, that I guess that made my night. Hey, honey, I heard somebody jizz.
Oh,
this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, so as we wrap it up, I guess, what's the story on finishing the mural? I guess there's another side of the mural you're going to be doing?
Yes, yeah, there is. Actually, yeah, that was kind of a funny thing. I showed up. There was a city planner that I had made friends with the year before. She was painting a mural in the park, and my brother lives next to the park. And I was at his house, and I saw her out there painting. So I went and made friends with her, and then talked about the mural a little bit. And one thing led to another. We had an idea to do a mural in town, and so they had a wall picked out, and I designed the whole thing, and I submitted to him. What I didn't know is that the town was already doing a beautification program, and they had a lot of money that they had set aside for it, but pretty much everything was earmarked. So they could only afford to pay for like half of the mural. So I said, perfect. There's no way I'm going to be able to paint it before the weather turns. So let's just do half of it, and we'll use it to do a fundraiser, and we'll raise the money for the other half of it. And that's what we did, and it worked out perfect. And, we did a fundraiser in October, and everybody came out and supported it wonderfully. Just amazing support that it had, doing that mural. So the minute the weather breaks in the springtime, I'll be out there on the scaffolding, and we're doing part 2 on the other side. So
awesome. Is it going to be continuous?
Yes. Yeah. And it's funny because there's a drain pipe that goes right down the middle of the thing, and I thought, how am I going to camouflage that? And I thought, no, I won't camouflage it. I'm going to turn it into a post. I'm going to, that has a sign on it that says, Grant Park established 1871, and make it like a railroad sign, have like red and white stripes down, kind of like hide in plain sight.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I can't wait. I'm excited about it.
What are some conventions that people could look forward to seeing you at next year? You think that you're able to discuss?
Oh, I wish I had the book with me here. I will be in Augusta, Georgia. Let's see, where else am I going to be? I'm going to be in South Dakota in January. I know that one.
Is the airport open in South Dakota in January?
Yeah, South Dakota open in January. I should look that up. Maybe it's not. I should find it. I'm assuming it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm doing a show in Milwaukee, a quick Comic-Con in Milwaukee in February, and boy, the whole month of March and April is. I'll be at C2E2 here in Chicago.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll be in Decatur in April, and then Springfield. I think that's in May. Those are local shows. Also in March, I'm going to be doing South Bend, Indiana.
I'll go to South Bend if I'm free that weekend.
Oh, fantastic! That'd be great.
I'm in Indianapolis, so
yeah, cool. So yeah, I actually have I counted up. I have 13 shows already booked for next year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I really do. I was built for the road. I love the airports and hotels and the whole scene and kind of the whole backstage thing and restaurants and Ubers and going places and museums and checking out the cities and
how's that work with your wife?
We own, we're involved with, I should say we own, we're involved with a couple of fests, like fall fests, and my stepdaughter and my wife own and run a wildflower farm. So her weekend, so her weekends are pretty much filled, with doing stuff, with her daughter and the farm and that sort of thing. So I mean, on the weekends we kind of have our own lives. We're ships passing in the night during the week too, as it turns out.
Wow,
Paul, yeah. I can't stop console fanboy. I hope you realize that, but he goes, last one, I promise, Paul.
Bumping it up, $9.99.
You're a legend.
You hang out long enough, I'm going to make some money off of this.
The console fanboy is a Mortal Kombat god.
Console fanboy is a Mortal Kombat god.
See, this is proof you should do Cameo.
Yeah, you could make a lot of money off of that, Paul.
Well, I've done a lot of voiceover stuff, believe it or not, for like industrial cartoon stuff. They're I've been this recurring character, Rusty the Tractor. Oh, Rusty the Tractor, howdy.
See, that's too nice. I almost think you could be a villain. That Satan's Hollow little video you did, I love that. And man, like you could be a voiceover actor too, just like Alan Oppenheimer, his voice is Skeletor.
Yeah, why not?
Definitely could
hire me.
But don't forget to pay Paul. That's what I
don't forget to pay Paul.
Oh boy, it's ridiculous.
Well, I think you've been very gracious with your time. Is there anything else you'd like to mention before we wrap up here?
No, I'll just come out, check my Facebook page, and I'll be posting where and when I'm going to be at places, and come out and see me. I love meeting everybody. I love
awesome
stories, and I love telling my stories. And it's just an absolute joy to meet everybody and to see how the game and the artwork has affected their lives. That's the thing about doing the shows is I had no idea how much it all meant to everybody and how many relationships were changed by this artwork. So many people come up to me at the show and go, my father and I had kind of a sketchy relationship. And then one day I was playing Mortal Kombat and he came in, he started playing, and we've been the best friends ever since. And I hear that same story 100 times with 100 different versions. Mom, sister, brother, cousin, friend, whatever, and save relationships by being able to play this game. Something that I know I never anticipated or thought was a thing or could be, a thing. But it turns out it's probably the most powerful factor that comes into play with this artwork. And so on that level, I'm proud and I'm humbled by the fact that I was able to bring that, to the people. So I'm kind of driven. I'm gonna go to every show and hear everybody say that to me, and they do. I'm addicted to it.
That's awesome. Again, thank you so very much, Paul. This is like really a great podcast, and one of the better ones that I've definitely had, and I've really appreciated you taking all that time with us.
Yeah, it's been so great to talk to you, Paul. You've got some amazing stories. You're a great guy. This has been great. I just wish they would have treated you better, man. I can't stop thinking about it. Like, wow, that's terrible. Like, it's such a big part, and it's like it feels like it's now finally coming around where you're able to finally reap some of the positivity, like what you just talked about. Some of the emotional benefit and the positivity from it. And that's the beautiful part about it, because it shows that no matter what, even if you get screwed in the end, it comes back around and you start to get the goodness that you deserve. So that's a beautiful part about it.
I'm overpaid. Okay. When I do these shows and I talk to people and they pour out their heart in all sincerity to me and tell me, you illustrated my childhood. And I hear that 1,000 times. I can hear 1,000 more and never get tired of hearing of it. That is payment. I'm overpaid in that when you take that into consideration. So yeah, I'm out there, I'm getting my payment. Don't worry about it. I'm more than enough when I talk to everybody and I hear how they feel about everything.
Awesome. Well, I think Zodwriter, are you going to be here next week?
Absolutely.
I know it's Thanksgiving week, so
Yeah.
We'll talk. We'll have a podcast, and then I think after that we'll go on vacation. But Paul don't need to be here for that. Paul was here for a special guest. All right, everybody.
Name on it.
Everybody's saying thank you and great stream. We appreciate everybody that watched it live. Of course, if you watch it afterwards, we appreciate you too.
Oh,
and if you're listening to the audio version, which I probably will have up Monday, and I appreciate you as well. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It helps, obviously. Subscribe if you haven't and all that good stuff. And catch Paul on Facebook under his full name, which is right there on his screen. You can find him that way, and you can find out where he's going to go next. And do you have anything? Do you have some words you could exit us with, Paul?
Oh boy, let's see. What I could be witty. I don't know. I got nothing. Simsalabim. There you go.
Could you end on a get over here?
Oh, there you go. Get over here. Oh.